I'm sorry if you can hear the storm. Hopefully it's vibes. Hello and welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. It's that time of the month again where I am looking at last month's pop culture news and internet trends to sort of recap what was going on online through the month of June 2021. This month had a lot of Pride stuff going on. It had a lot of social media drama and a lot of babies. Again, this is heavily biased towards my own algorithm and interests, so keep that in mind when looking at this. I try to keep them pretty mainstream, but there is some bias obviously towards my interests. Before I dive in, I want to celebrate that I surpassed 100 subscribers on my channel, which I'm really proud of. This was a really big milestone for me, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching if you are one of those people. So let's begin with pop culture news. Former Duke and Duchess, I don't know their titles anymore, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge? Whatever. Harry and Meghan Markle had their baby this month. This was the baby that Meghan Markle was pregnant with during that bombshell interview with Oprah a couple months back.
What?
And their new daughter's name is Lilibet, which, okay, interesting. That's like a cute name. Maybe for a frog, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't mean offense to people with weird baby names, but I'm not a big fan of this one. So another baby related news, Nick Cannon got roasted online a bit this month. In June, he fathered 3 children with 2 different women, and it was announced that his current girlfriend allegedly is pregnant with his child. So that would be 4 children in the span of 6 months with 3 different women. People online just kind of roasted him for it. They were saying he's building a small army, he's building a new population. So this 4th child would be his 7th child overall. And he has admitted on Howard Stern's show that he does not like to wear condoms. Obviously, I guess. This is only his 7th child, which is a lot, but also like with the amount he's getting trolled, I just expected a way bigger number for that. So the BET Awards happened this month. One of the biggest moments was Cardi B announcing her 2nd pregnancy during a performance in the tradition of Beyonce. And second, another viral moment from the awards came from Lil Nas X and his performance where he made out with a man during his number. Of course, this led to the typical social media controversy about, you know, think of the children or whatever, but Lil Nas X is very known for pushing boundaries and being proud of who he is. So I think it's an important statement and a brave statement. One of the biggest pieces of pop culture news this month was kind of sad, but hopefully it will lead to change, and that is the Britney Spears conservatorship case. We learned a lot of new details about it, and the Free Britney movement has had a big push this past month. Britney finally had the opportunity to address her conservatorship in court. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be public or not, but the audio was released of it. She revealed a lot of very disturbing details about her conservatorship that really made everyone upset. Her father, Jamie Spears, really controls every single aspect of her life. The most tragic piece of news was that she apparently really wants to have another child again, but she has an IUD in her that she's not allowed to go get removed under her conservatorship. All of these revelations were a really big deal since fans rarely get to hear from Britney. She is under such control that she's not able to talk on these issues very much. The Free Britney movement started kind of like a conspiracy type deal, and now has been really legitimized over the past few months. From longtime fans to fellow pop stars like Christina Aguilera spoke out about the Free Britney movement. A lot of celebrities were in support of Britney and disgusted by all of the details we learned. And there was a ton of like mainstream legitimate press coverage for it. I think supporters of the Free Britney movement are just hoping that this is the beginning of the end for the conservatorship. It finally feels like there are steps being made that can lead to her freedom. It's also important to keep in mind that this is kind of like a bigger disability rights issue, and I think there's a lot of people hoping that this case will bring awareness to sort of the injustice of the current system we have, and that this can even happen to a person is kind of like a big flaw in our system. And lastly, for pop culture news, I'm going to put it in pop culture because I refuse to make a sports section, but there was a lot of Olympics related news this month. There were a lot of like Olympic trials going on to qualify for the Olympics, and it was really great to see Simone Biles in action at those events and see sort of like the diversity of the USA gymnastics team. It's pretty cool, and I'm excited to see them in Tokyo, kind of. I mean, the Olympics are kind of a mess, so this leads me to the next story that was really viral this month, and I'm sad because it was supposed to be a happy thing, but now it's a sad thing. This is about the situation with Sha'carri Richardson, who is a track star that was set to go to the Olympics. She made headlines earlier in the month of June due to her great performance on the track. I think it was the 100 meter. I don't know, don't quote me on that. She did an amazing performance to qualify for the Olympics, and she did it in full drag. So it was like just this fabulous moment. She was in full hair, nails, makeup, lashes, and still beat the competition seemingly easily, and she went pretty viral for her signature style and her personality. However, at the end of the month and going into July, she was actually disqualified from the Olympics because they found marijuana in her system. She failed a drug test. Honestly, the circumstances she used it under were very fair and legal, so it's kind of like it is a very confusing thing. It's also, many people are arguing marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug, especially in track. It just led to a larger discourse about racism, marijuana legalization, double standards in the Olympics. Michael Phelps is known to smoke a lot of marijuana, and just an outdated system that isn't based on science or facts. So let's move on to TV and movie news, and I'm going to start with movies. This very odd trailer went viral in June of a movie called Karen, which is a suspense horror film that incorporates themes of racism, kind of like Jordan Peele's Get Out. A famous commentary YouTuber, D'Angelo Wallace, made a really good video on it, so I recommend you check that out if you want to see the trailer sort of broken down. And it was through his video that I realized that this trailer is actually for a made-for-TV movie. It's not a theatrical release. People were sort of reflecting on how there have been a few knockoffs of Get Out in the past few years, and how they have all not lived up to the original Get Out and how good a quality that movie really was. But this movie, Karen, is definitely the worst iteration by far, and you can tell it is a made-for-TV movie, low budget. Watching the trailer was like watching the whole movie. Like, you don't have to watch the whole movie. It's essentially like a Lifetime movie version of Get Out, which you can imagine how dumb that would be. And also, apparently the lady that plays the Karen in the movie is like an actual very conservative Karen type in real life. No, thank you. So another trailer that came out this month was the Clifford the Big Red Dog live action trailer. I didn't watch the full thing, to be honest. I'm not very interested in this movie, but the visual effects on it were not they were not great. They were a little subpar. A lot of Americans were noting that the trailer looked like a pharmaceutical ad. Okay, now let's move on to TV. And this month, really, Paramount Plus had my heart with TV. The 6th season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars premiered in June as a Paramount Plus exclusive, so it is only on streaming. Traditionally, it is on television on the channel VH1. The season's cast and episodes have been surprisingly well received so far. So I'm just curious to see how being an exclusive to a streaming platform is going to affect how many people are seeing the show. It's kind of a big decision to take it off of TV and move it onto streaming. But Paramount Plus also released their exclusive iCarly reboot in June, and it's actually been super good. I made a whole video thoroughly explaining my thoughts on it, so check it out if you're interested. My video also got noticed by a few of the iCarly writers, and namely Francesca Ramsey, who's one of the lead writers and producers of the show, and I was so shook by this. Like, she has been so engaged with the fans. She's really good at social media, honestly. And also, the show has picked a more mature direction while still keeping the lighthearted elements of like a sitcom, and I think that has been a great benefit. Like, I've seen a overwhelmingly positive reception from fans. They really did a great job. But anyway, go watch my video to see all of my thoughts and specifics. It was a really good video, honestly. Another piece of TV news this month I saw was that they are casting the fictional adaptation of the Tiger King Joe Exotic story. The casting news to me wasn't that significant, like who was cast in certain roles. What was more weird to me when I was doing the research was that there are 2 fictional adaptations of Tiger King in the works right now, which is just like, it's too many, honestly. And sure, Tiger King held our hand during the early stages of the pandemic, but in my opinion, it's over. Like, just let it go. Now let's move on to music, pop music, woo! The music moments this month were a little more subdued compared to last month. Last month had a lot of music going on. So in June, we had a huge surprise comeback from The Lord, who announced her new album Solar Power coming in 2021. And the announcement included this instantly iconic single cover for the Solar Power single. Fans had been eagerly awaiting new music from Lorde for several years. From the looks of the single and the aesthetics, she is going in a much happier direction thematically compared to her angsty last album Melodrama in 2017. So next we had a big album release from Doja Cat with Planet Her. This is kind of a big anticipated album, and I haven't listened to it more than once yet so far, so I don't have like a ton of thoughts on it, but it overall to me has a very ethereal vibe compared to her previous work, and it features a bunch of noteworthy collabs like SZA, The Weeknd, Ariana Grande. So far I'm mostly enjoying the single Need to Know. That's my favorite song of this album. I like Kiss Me More as well. That one's been around for a little while, but Need to Know was really cool, and I really loved the music video that also dropped this month where she's like an alien and Grimes is there for some reason as an alien too, and she's like a blue alien. Very cool video. Very cool makeup. So also in June, Taylor Swift announced her re-record of Red, one of her most famous albums, is coming out in November this year and will include 30 whole songs. Taylor is known for making a ton of songs for an album and having to cut a few. I'm sure fans will enjoy hearing like the unedited version of Red. And finally, in pop music news, we had a bit of a feud. It was definitely a one-sided feud, but an attempt at drama. Courtney Love accusing Olivia Rodrigo of stealing her concept art for one of her albums. Olivia Rodrigo made this concert film, and the concert film's theme was all around like a prom, and her character was very like kind of manic, like deranged prom queen is what I would describe the concept. But Courtney Love decided that this was some sort of a copying moment and that Olivia Rodrigo was copying her album cover without credits. Here are the 2 covers if you're trying to see the comparison. Yeah, they are similar, but most people on social media I saw were definitely taking Olivia Rodrigo's side. I didn't see anyone really taking Courtney Love's side. People are pointing out that both images were probably drawing inspiration from Carrie and not from each other. Honestly, I do not believe Olivia Rodrigo knows even who Courtney Love is. She is like a little teen Gen Z girl. Like I really know who Courtney Love is, and that album came out the year I was born that she is saying Olivia Rodrigo stole from. So now for the spiciest part of the recaps, and that is the cancel watch. This month's canceling controversies really mostly involved like internet and influencer related drama. I'm not covering any celebrity cancellations this month. Maybe there were some, but I don't. Okay, the cancel watch thunderstorm. So early in the month, we had this very weird controversy that was in a niche part of the internet on TikTok, and that was the bee drama. So an account called Texas Bee Works uploaded this video that went super viral on TikTok and on Twitter, maybe on other social medias, but those are the main ones I saw. This Texas Bee Works, she's like a lady that moves and transfers beehives. So like groups of bees that are making a hive in somewhere they're not supposed to be, like under a roof or an umbrella or somewhere near people where it's possibly dangerous. When you have a hive problem, you will call a bee specialist and they will transfer the hive into some sort of mobile thing and they take it to some bee farm they have. And this Texas Bee Works lady does that and documents it on TikTok. The video that went viral was one of her transferring a beehive into a thing. Sorry, I don't know all these bee terms. She was transferring a beehive from like an outdoor umbrella and into a thing. And the way she does her videos, she has like a voiceover over her videos while she's doing whatever. And she's like very calm and serious in her voiceover. Like she's not funny, but the video was funny and that's why it went viral, but it was like unintentionally funny. She was looking for the queen bee in the hive and she couldn't find it. So she was like, luckily I had a spare queen bee in my pocket. If they don't accept her, they will kill her. If they accept her, then we're good and they'll follow her into the thing. It was just like this really weird, spontaneous, funny moment because it's like she said it like everyone should carry a spare queen bee in their pocket, and on top of it, she was like handling the bees like just in basically these clothes I'm wearing with her hands. So people were also very amazed in general by her skill or her practice. So that was huge. But then a different bee person made a big TikTok calling this Texas Bee Works out, calling her out, pointing out a lot of things about that viral video that were sort of questionable in bee practice terms. It's hard to explain, but basically this new person was saying Texas Bee Works lady wasn't wearing proper protective equipment. She was spreading misinformation about how docile the bees were. Maybe people would think they're more nice than they are. She accused her of her husband helping her out for most of it, like smoking the bees or something for her, and she just comes in at the end to do the fun part. I don't think it was this person that said this, but it was also going around that Texas Bee Works lady was a Trump supporter. Immediately everyone was like, no, like this viral lady I just found and liked is a Trump supporter and misinformation and fake news, and she's canceled, right? We're canceling her. But then Texas Bee Works lady came out. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Then the Texas Bee Works lady came out and denied all of these allegations, said she does everything herself, said she's not advertising people try this at home. She basically debunked everything. She said she's not a Trump supporter and she's just like confused about all the hate she got like from one day to the other. This was such a weird, fast controversy. Like this was a span of a couple of days that all of this happened. It was like a roller coaster. The general public doesn't know about bees, so they didn't know who to cancel, who to not support. They didn't know who to trust on this bee stuff. I think that's what led to such confusion on this whole situation. And then second, like, I don't know what was in the water in June for YouTubers, but it was kind of a mess. Some canceled YouTubers have been trying to make a comeback this month. So James Charles, well, I think James Charles came back early July, which is like a day ago, but James Charles was teasing his comeback during June. Tati Westbrook, who was part of the original Dramageddon on YouTube, came back to her regular makeup content. Shane Dawson is trying to inch his way back in. So all these people that were involved in huge dramas and honestly don't really deserve a platform are trying to come back. There's this one YouTuber right now named Gabby Hanna that is doing a big expose series on everyone who has wronged her in the past. If you don't know who Gabby Hanna is, she was like part of that generation of YouTubers that came from Vine. So think Liza Koshy, David Dobrik, and the Vlog Squad. She was part of that group. She's making this big expose series that she's trying to like redeem her public image with, but it is fully backfiring on her because in a lot of these situations she is showing receipts for and all that. She is in the wrong. Everyone she's attacking in this exposed series is like fighting back like, no, like here are the receipts, this is how it happened. And I'm like, no one's taking her side despite the point of this exposed series being that she wants everyone to like her again. So it's weird. If you're not in the YouTube space, you don't know. If you're in it, you probably have heard of it. And then on top of it, there was this big commentator drama channel that got exposed as like a actual psychopath, like a stalker. an abuser. Her name is Creepshow Art. The person behind it name is Shannon. You probably haven't heard of it if you're not in the drama channel community, but it's a very interesting case because the commentary and drama channel community has really been the people that hold big YouTubers accountable and basically are like the moral police of YouTube, as weird as that sounds. Like, obviously there's a lot wrong with drama channels and sensationalizing drama and gossip, whatever. So there's that side of it, but it's also like the commentary community is like an integral part of like holding people accountable, right? This person that got exposed as like a huge liar and manipulator and psycho was one of these people calling others out, and apparently she herself has been very transphobic, very racist, every kind of bad thing you can imagine. And yet in her actual video, she was always, you know, trying to hold people accountable, trying to be inclusive. You can find a lot of videos on it if you're interested in just learning. I just find it interesting how it's someone from like the moral police that got caught like being the worst of them all. That's enough cancel watch for this month. Now let's move on to social media. June 2021 had a fair amount of memes going around, and the biggest, strongest one, and still to this day in July, is the Natalie Portman meme from Star Wars. My boyfriend laughed at me when I asked him if that was from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, this meme of Natalie Portman has been huge. Also, Miranda Cosgrove recreated her original interesting meme, and that has been a important before and after type of meme format that has taken hold. Something weird that went viral on Twitter this month also was this HBO Max mistake. So the streaming platform HBO Max sent an accidental email to their customers that was like a test email. HBO Max came out and admitted that it was the intern that actually caused this and that they're helping them through it. So kind. That made people online sort of soften up and share stories of ways they messed up as interns. I don't know. It was kind of a random controversy. I don't think it was that big a deal. I don't know why the original test email went that viral. It's kind of dumb. June 2021 was Pride Month. Yay, Pride. Usually on Pride there is a lot of commentary and discourse about the corporatization of Pride and how corporations will have, you know, a rainbow logo and maybe they don't back that up in their actions all the time. This year particularly, I found people were really roasting a lot of different Pride collections. Even on TikTok and YouTube, it became like a trend to roast different companies' Pride merch. So like Target and Old Navy and like those types of places that have a Pride line, but it's maybe a little out of touch. And honestly, the climax of this Pride Month merch came from like the most viral of all, and it was this IKEA couch set. So IKEA made several couches for different sexualities, so they went above and beyond the rainbow. The bisexual couch in particular was so weird. When you change or to and, nobody believes you. It just felt like weirdly an attack, even though it was trying to make a statement, and it was so ugly as well. So people really went in on this couch, and I think it was a great climax to all the weird or ugly Pride collections we saw this year. So our last category is TikTok, and TikTok had a fair amount of trends. One of the biggest trends this month and one of the most well-received ones was the TikTok Adult Swim trend, where creators were recreating Adult Swim commercials. I did kind of a deep dive video on this trend. It is my pop culture and internet trends life cycle video if you're interested. It was the most positively received trend I've seen in a long time. Second, another backyardigans bop went viral this month on TikTok, and that was the Into the Thick of It. I don't understand the hold the backyardigans has on TikTok, but they are catchy, I'm not gonna lie. I think because the summer is here and people are going on vacation a lot more often, there's a TikTok trend I've been seeing that's like, start a TikTok at home and finish the TikTok on vacation. There have been some funny ones that are more like humorous takes on it, and some like really good ones where the transitions are really good or whatever, so that's a cool one. Another sound I noticed was popular was this Nobody song by Mitski. You'll probably recognize it if you hear it. It's like, nobody, nobody. I don't know. I don't think I did a good rendition, but it's always someone like running away for some reason. I don't really understand that trend, honestly. On TikTok, this guy went viral who was like really scary. Oh my god, I forgot his name. He does like manifestation life advice type videos, but he does it in like a very scary way. One of his TikToks, he was in the middle of talking to the camera, and then a jogger lady runs by, and he looks at her with his like intense eyes, and she screams off camera, and we don't know how it ends. So that went pretty viral, and this guy is just so interesting and mesmerizing but scary. My theory is honestly that he is like, he's playing a character, like fully he is like a normal person. Like I'm not sure if he's like out as like this is a character or not, or like he really lives his life with this like there's no such thing as a coincidence kind of thing. I mean, I find it hard to believe in. It really seems like a character to me. And finally, a piece of TikTok news that was like separate-ish, but interesting, was that a lot of Black TikTok creators went on strike this month and refused to create TikTok dances because many of these TikTok dances that become famous are originally created and choreographed by Black creators, and all of these young white girl influencers that do the dances are the ones that get famous and get on Jimmy Kimmel to teach him dances. Jimmy Fallon, whoever, Jimmy whatever, they get on there and teach him the dances like they did them, and it's always very watered down. I'll link the article below about this, but it's good on them for trying to show what they're worth and how they influence really the influencers that are getting paid millions of dollars to copy their choreography. So that's all I have for June 2021's trend report. Please let me know if I've missed any trends or pop culture moments. I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I put out new videos twice a week about pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. And you can follow me at Miscellaneous on Instagram or Twitter to find out about new videos, or just turn on the bell notification here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.